Yeah, I think the first breakout is just, the difference between commercial and residential.
Okay.
Most people would immediately go, okay, so commercial, more on the business class side. So I build out on, we've done a lot of everything from storage units to warehouses, but a lot of office spaces. So
Okay.
office spaces and the commercial side, I think is our ultimate sweet spot. These are construction companies that are putting together medical facilities or offices that are going to be leased out, usually by a tenant that's going to come in with a pretty high expectation, and so they want to make sure they get it done right. They don't want to just go out and find somebody who's new to construction cleaning. They like to know that the process. So to start that off, like I said, when we meet with people or have the opportunity, even email early on, I'll send them something that shows them how we go about taking on a construction clean project. And there's very specific things that I think they should look for if they don't know, and most of them do. These are people with some experience. That's why they're in this arena. You're going to start with a rough clean. There's always the debris side, and even the ones that keep the cleanest of sites, you're going to come into a lot of dust and debris that you need to clean off once, and it's going to resettle and be up to a point where now we want to do a really full, what we call final clean. And after that, we're going to walk and inspect it together, and then we'll do a touch-up clean, or a lot of people call it a buff clean. We understand these exist, and even when I get pushback, I will push back on the pushback to go, no, it's a construction clean. You're going to have these three phases. And on smaller projects, we do some residential. As you can imagine, Captiva and Fort Myers Beach, there's been residences with contractors who are like, man, I need a good post-construction clean. And that's been a nice part of our business. We're happy to do that. And those we kind of can fit all together sometimes in one day. If you have a 2,000 to 3,000 square foot home, I'll send in a full team, and we'll do all of that in one day. By the end of the day, it's taken care of because we can just kind of scale the team appropriately. And on the bigger projects, you're talking multiple days. So you kind of factor the team to go in and do the rough clean and what that's going to take. And not all are the same. The battles with construction clean. So again, being clear up front, and I think the client recognizes that we come in with some experience and we're going to speak truth because there's no reason not to. We're going to be fighting around other tradesmen. You're going to ask us to come in and clean before you're actually done with the project because you have a timeline where everybody's going to be working right up to the point where the tenant comes in. And that means areas that we've cleaned, we come in and do a rough clean, you still have a lot of trades happening, and they're getting it dirty again as they go. And I know you ask them to pick up after themselves and try to leave it the way it is, but that adds to the formula for doing a good post-construction clean. So all of my best clients, and we've been building them, and I know that's why this is working. It resonates with them that we understand what's about to happen. Instead of complaining about it once we get in here, we have the conversation in advance. We're going to be working around other tradesmen. And so that room that we just cleaned got dirty again.
Yeah.
We're going to go back and clean it. I'm factoring all of this in. And if you don't believe me, you haven't been cleaning, or you haven't been in construction for very long, because that's going to happen. And I don't know about all of my competitors. Again, I've done my research, and I love finding other people that are big in post-construction cleaning and willing to share that knowledge online. And I think we have found a path to go, you want me to clean up things that a painter left behind or somebody got a little messy or sloppy over here. You're not really looking to call them back. So in some cases, it's bad enough you need to do that, and they can back charge it. In other cases, you want us just to take care of it. These are the nuances that go, you need to add some time for all of that. And in the end, here's the hours I think we'll spend in each of these areas and categories. And that sets us off on a proposal that can be signed off on. And of course, there's hourly rates if they want us to do other and extra things. And often what happens, I try to price it right where it's a walk away, where we're done, and they like that. Because I've offered time and materials to people, and they don't want that. Nobody wants you just to work like a runaway train on time and materials. They're afraid of what might happen. So they want a firm proposal. So I try to price it so that I think this is what it's going to take to completion. If it goes beyond that for any given reason, we kind of have an understanding at this point. The relationship part kicks back in. The process for everything else, but the relationship is the understanding that if we've cleaned it through this process and it's dirty again, we'll go back and clean it for you. We'll spend extra time on things where tradesmen got kind of sloppy, and that's billable time. And I've really never had any hardcore problems, arguments. We discern that together, and that's part of the beauty of this. I try to price it where I know some of that's going to come up, But if it goes beyond what any of us think would be normal expectation, we agree together. There's just extra billable hours at the end. These are all conversations we have up front, and it's made all the difference for me on why the contractors of the world that are out there on the big commercial projects really understand it. I think they appreciate this conversation and why we keep winning more of that business. And outside of that, like I said, we do all kinds of post-construction cleaning, but I think that would be our particular zone for what we get more of and what we kind of chase.